You want to get a better understanding of the latest AI tool that's taking the world by storm. It's called Chat GPT. In the show today, we break down what it is, how you can use it for your business, and the potential pitfalls of using it to be aware of.
So happy Friday, Emer. It's an interesting show for us today, actually.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Chat GPT. I actually went off because you caught me out last week with what was the GPT standing for.
I thought you never got caught out.
No, I got caught out last week. You really
okay.
You stumped me there. Well, it actually stands for Generative Pre-Training Transformer. Please don't ask me to explain what that means.
You have done your homework, haven't you? You have been busy.
Had to make you proud.
Well, I was thinking we should name it something else.
All right.
We'll keep the chat. But I was thinking Guru Philip Twyford for the PT. Get it?
Oh, yes. I like it. I like it. Yes.
Here it just came to me at the PT.
We'll give you a pay rise. Hope you're listening to this, Joe. Pay rise for Emer.
I'm thinking outside the box, isn't that what they say, So
but no, interesting show for you today. Obviously, if you're just tuning in for the first time here on YouTube or obviously on Dublin South FM, do check out our first show when we were talking about 5 trends around social media for 2023.
Yes.
And you can catch that on the Dublin South FM website, Podbean, Spotify, and of course on the Let's Get Social Show YouTube channel.
And as I say, we did mention that we are on YouTube. So do go check out the Let's Get Social YouTube channel that is up now. So you will see us as well as hear us. I don't know 100%. Which is worrying more, is seeing us.
Oh, I don't know. I think
or the hearing us.
Maybe they don't want to hear or see us.
That's what I was thinking.
Hopefully that's not the case. But one big thing we wanted to do, as we mentioned in our first show, that we want to do with all of our listeners, is we want to get engagement from you. So if there's topics around social media, whether it's AI tools or you want to go back to the basics on Twitter, do send us an email with something you might like us to cover on inquiries@dublinsouthfm.ie. And we'd like to turn
you know what,
show.
Philip? I was going to say, recently there was an update there with LinkedIn, for example, and now you can schedule. Well, it's only in the last few months it's been rolled out, and I only recently got it. So I
just
put
like
that
myself.
Up. So, it appeared out of nowhere, and I went, what's a little clock? And then it was, that's the scheduling option. Now, the only thing is, it's out on desktop and Android on Android on mobile, right? But on iOS, we have to wait. So
they're really
watch
late
out for the clock,
aren't they? They're really late.
I know.
Like it's been crying out, because when you use scheduling tools, fine for scheduling image-based posts to LinkedIn. But if you try and schedule a video, it sort of creates a whole different user experience.
I haven't done any video, as you know, because I am the nervous video gal.
Well, I don't like it, Emer. So, so I'm glad that they've done this. So well done, LinkedIn, finally coming around.
Yeah, I know. Because we're all busy, and then you kind of go, I meant to post something, or, okay, it's okay when you're on the go, if you're out and you maybe taken a video and you just post it up. But if you wanted to schedule that for a certain day, related, like, the way you'd look up days of the year, say, for example.
Yes.
You might have a video that you're going to say, I'm going to hold for that day and I'm going to schedule it out. And then, I can't, as you say, because the video issue,
Yeah, you have to go on a native, and that doesn't suit everybody, especially if you want to do a post over the weekend or late at night or holiday period, if you want some posts a Christmas or a summer holiday. So
especially because we don't want to be on social on your holidays, do we?
No, you want to unplug, as they say. So, but listen, talk to us, Emer, like Chat GPT.
Yes.
Tell us all about this.
Right. I have a definition. That's a good word, isn't it? I'm just going to read it out.
Back to school with teacher Emer.
Well, I just want to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But anyway, yes. So I'm reading it on my screen here. Oops. All right. It's a chat bot. Yeah. I know you'd see them on websites and you kind of go, so what's so different about that? Well, it's been created by OpenAI. Now, I know there's lots of other tools that have been kind of, coming down the track, but this this version seems to be so much user friendly, you know? It was designed, it came out in 2022, which is only last year.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was late last year.
I think it was November. Like I started to pick it up towards then.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you want a definition of something that is viral, this is the perfect example.
Oh, I know.
It literally just went viral over social media. So
yeah, because there's other tools out there like Jasper is one. Right Sonic, is another. But it is designed to interact with people in a conversational way, a bit like us. Yeah. No? Yeah. I ask the questions and you have all the answers.
I have all the answers. Sorry, that's
Chat,
a really...
Euro, Philip Twyford. So it is capable of answering questions, generating text, and even producing novel images and videos. Now, I haven't tried to get it to create video. Have you?
Not yet. No, I'm still testing around. And the one thing I did notice, because I tried to go on it there the other day and the servers were overloaded.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
Everyone's on it.
Yeah, everyone's on it. And I think that's the big probably issue that you're going to find is that if you want to try and get on and use it, you may struggle because practically, there's millions of people who all have the same idea.
Yeah. And the fact that it's free, I don't know if it's going to stay free. I don't think it will.
Not if Elon is involved, because I think he's part of one of the investors.
Yeah.
No.
So it's like jump on now while you can.
Yeah.
But also it's based on its extensive database of digital books, online writings, and other media. Now, I know for a fact that it's only up to 2021. So I was watching somebody talk about it and they tested, how many times has France been in the World Cup? And it only said 3 times, which I believe is 4 times now.
Yeah.
Well, not that I watch the football, but it was just an interesting test that they had.
I would say the amount of investment that's gone into Chat GPT and the whole AI technology, it's vast amounts of money. Now, as you mentioned, Right Sonic, they have what they call Chat Sonic, which is their version. It does go up to 2022.
And it's connected to the internet where Chat GPT isn't.
Yeah, and I suppose it's going to be very interesting because I did a test between Chat Sonic and Chat GPT. I put in, give me a framework, give me a framework around the advances of AI. Where is it going? Chat GPT was very much 2021. It was pulling kind of what it thought was going to happen, where when I put it specifically to Chat Sonic, it came back with very specific kind of AI innovations that were happening.
Right.
But it was a smaller paragraph. You got a big long paragraph with Chat GPT. Listen, I think Chat GPT, it is being continually invested on. I think 2023, you're going to see some more amazing stuff happening with this,
I like the interface of it because it's actually just one like you're not having to go in like with Jasper, you would have documents, recipes. They have different features. They brought out their own little mini chat in it as well. So if you wanted to ask a quick question, like I'll give you an example with the Chat GPT. I wish they'd name it something else, but anyway, I tested it. My husband's a head chef, so I said, "Here, I want to show you this." Right, so I went on and on my mobile phone, like I just did it on that. I looked up, create me a vegan menu. Well, I tell you, Philip, it had starters, main courses, desserts, drinks as well on it.
Yeah. It's frightening, really, when you think about it. Like, I suppose for listeners, or if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't already got onto the whole AI Chat GPT train, all you have to do is go to chat.openai.com. There's a very simple sign-up process. It's completely free, as Emer said.
Yeah.
And then once you log in and get into the interface, it is exactly as you said, Emer. It's a very simple scenario. It'll give you some of its capabilities, some of the things it can't do, but it is essentially just a box.
Yeah.
And I suppose it is limited only by, I suppose, your own creativity.
You have to you have to direct it. It won't do it for you. You have to, like create for example, a poem, say
In the style
on
of
a
Shakespeare,
topic.
I've heard people doing this,
or you picked maybe a comedian that, I don't know, like say Ricky Gervais, which could be quite scary actually. Now, so think about it.
Yeah, because it doesn't have any morals or black and white,
no,
So.
No. So maybe that's not a good one, but I just thought it's quite intuitive in a sense that it can pick it up. Plus, what I like about it is it actually saves your chat. Yeah. So you can go and create a new one on something else and still go back to your library, which is on the left-hand side,
Exactly. Like I think, like some of the obvious benefits, obviously, it can answer questions. You can automate content. I think one of the big ones as well that I found incredible, which I think is really making people stand up and take notice, especially developers, was the fact that they can put in, write me a piece of code to do X, Y, Z. So if you want to write a piece of HTML or whatever it might be, you can put it in and it is coming back with code that actually works. And that is mind blowing, that's sort of like, so I suppose really if you want to play around with this is start to maybe look at your own business and even from say frameworks or processes or ideas and put in your queries, like you said, Emer, into the chat box.
Like it's like you could, if you had, for example, wanted to have some sort of reply, say on social media, you can craft your reply, that is more personal in a sense of, say somebody had given you a lovely review, Philip, on Facebook or on Google Business Profiles, right? And you're thinking, what to reply back? You can look at what they've said, go into Chat GPT, and just see what you can gather from that. And then tweak it, because you don't want it to be all generic and it's samey, that way. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Like a big thing that I've read, and it'd be good to get your thoughts on this, Emer, was companies just starting to use and explore and how they can actually use Chat GPT for customer service.
Yeah. We all go on to a certain airline, say, for example, on Twitter, their customer service channel, because they've been quite, I have to give them their dues. They have their main, information Twitter channel, everything's good. And then on the customer service where they have to deal with maybe not so good, and that could be helpful and save time in a sense of replying to a certain tweet that somebody has put out, and try and show that you are being proactive in what you're saying, and you can create a certain tone. So you can ask Chat GPT to craft a reply tweet in an empathetic tone, say, for example. And now it might come back and you're very happy with what it says, but then, as I always say, just go in and edit and see if it's sort of going to work, so it could save you time and speed that process up, I think,
Yeah, very much. And I suppose you have your personalized recommendations. I think as customers, as individuals, I think we're now very much, rightly or wrongly, we're in a sort of a society where everybody wants it now. They want an answer now.
Yeah.
They want the complaints to be handled now. I want the problem solved now.
Sounds like my kids.
Yeah. haven't found Chat GPT. How do I?
Do you know, I'm actually tempted to do that. And then when you reply back to them on WhatsApp, they'll go,
yeah, exactly.
So
you were not in your bedroom cleaning. You were out with your friends.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's your punishment. And
exactly. And then you still have that saved on Chat GPT to go back and use again and again and again. And then then they start to realize maybe she means it.
Yeah. But I suppose it is that speed element, because every query I put into Chat GPT, I'd say it's probably at most 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah. Unless it decides that there's overload and come back in an hour.
Well, that's it. And I suppose that is the only thing to be mindful of. Like, I suppose as well, you could start to see the fact that from where it has come from when it came out in November to where we are now, and no doubt the constant investment in 2023, that there's huge scalability with Chat GPT from handling high volume requests. But would you feel, Emer, that based on our experience and what we see with something like Write Sonic, Chat Sonic, that this is not going to remain free for very much longer?
No, I mean, like, its competitors at the minute, like, have different tiers of pricing, like somebody had put in I'm in one of the Chat GPT groups on Facebook, and you're looking at what people are saying, and one person was said, oh, if it becomes a paid to play option, what would you pay? And some people are ranging from like $10 a month. Some people said a couple of $100 a month, and I think, I'm not paying that.
Wow, that's incredible.
So it depends again on your uses for it. But the other angle, and this is something that people might think, oh, this is great, this is going to save me loads of time and I can write this, that, and the other. Be aware that it's plagiarism can come into play. That's a big word, plagiarism. But in other words, no, don't. I might have to go to Chat GPT and go, how do you spell? But it is kind of something that you have to be aware of. I mean, I'm thinking of, like, for example, kids maybe doing essays in college, and the lecturers do use plagiarism tools to check that it's your work and not someone else's.
Yeah, like it is something to be so mindful of. Like the AI technology, like the Chat GPTs of this world, it's moving at an exponential rate. Like, I guarantee you there is a huge investor focus on this whole area. OpenAI and all these other companies are working around the clock in developing this. But what was interesting, because I went on and did a bit of research, Google have flagged, I suppose, Chat GPT kind of under their red zone, because I think they see this as a real competitive threat.
Yeah.
Because you could very easily see people going into Chat GPT asking for the same type of queries that traditionally they would have gone to Google for.
Yes.
How do I do this? And like you said, the amount of people that are asking for, nutrition programs, a weight training program for over 40s. That's
something you don't need to worry about, because you're always out on your bike.
Exactly. Yeah. And plus I'm over 50.
No, you're not.
No. Oh, no, he's us. Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately. Yeah, I know. But I think you're right. I think you hit the nail there very much. Like everything, what's that famous saying? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Or the other one is no such thing as a free lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I cannot for the life of me see that this tool will remain free. Like Chat Sonic, which is part of Write Sonic.
Yeah.
I think they offer 28 kind of free goes a day or a week or something.
Yeah.
So I can't see it, because
I just think it's a great tool for getting you ideas.
Yeah.
Research, in a sense. Again, you would research on Google.
Yeah.
But the other day I was putting in create a list of news sites that have great marketing and social media articles. And it came out with about a dozen, and that was kind of interesting, because there's certain things you might be looking at and go, oh, I didn't know that existed, and then that's the other thing as well. Like, you could be looking for ideas for, say, a blog, right? But you can go, give me a list of titles for a blog regarding X, Y, and Z. So that can actually help you as well, because then you can find that's actually a really good title. And then from there, you can actually start to go away and put together your blog, because sometimes that's where it can be a challenge. It's like, what am I going to write
blockage or
about?
whatever.
So it can help you with, I think, titles,
Yeah. And like, if you use the blog example, from giving you the blog idea around a topic, structuring out the blog for you, but then you can also ask it to, make it SEO friendly, point out the keywords, the metadata structure, so that literally you can, from step by step, as opposed to trying to figure out SEO, you can kind of craft that blog and then even ask
but then you should have a decent web developer, Philip, that is SEO oriented.
Well, that's it. I suppose there's no way
especially
around that,
like when you go onto Google and you see the title, and then you have that little description underneath, that's your meta description. You could actually ask it, could you create a meta description and ideas. So it just there is ways around using it which are great, but again, the big thing that we should be vocal about is be wary plagiarism. And if Google sees it as plagiarism, then it could go hurt your website, be seen as spam. And that's going to have a knock-on effect on a lot of other things,
well, I know Google have said in some posts online that they do have the ability to detect AI content, and as far as they're concerned, they see AI kind of created content as spam. So you don't want to be flagging it or getting a Google penalty, because then suddenly you're kind of taking a step back and going, was it really worth it? So now what's interesting, and I just read this story there the other day, is, and I don't think he's going to make himself popular with his fellow students, but I think he's an electronic engineering student, and he has
what are you reading lately?
I don't know. I've become very, very intelligent. I'm reading very highbrow stuff,
Okay, I'll leave the building now,
But this student, what he has done is, because he was concerned that people were going to start using tools like Chat GPT to write their semester papers and all this kind of material, like we've been talking. Well, he created a tool now that lecturers can actually scan the submission, and it will tell them what percentage was created in AI, because he feels it's unfair that we should fine for ideas, but that you, the individual, should be writing the content.
I agree. And it's a bit like what, people will, like for your own website, say, for example, you should write it in your own voice. Do go get ideas, but you're better off to write as you, because people want to get a vibe from who you are, what you do, and how you can help them.
Like, I think what's interesting with these AI tools, I don't know what you think about this, Emer, but when you delve into it, like if the accuracy and the plagiarism and all those concerns and some of the moralistic issues, which are rightly have to be called out, there is obviously some other fears, along with kind of topics like deep fake and all, where people literally can have their face recreated and it's a totally different person. There is a sort of a fear among the communities online that spammers could actually use tools like Chat GPT to write spam emails, but they look so legitimate that it sort of then traps people. So I think we do need to see from the developers of tools like this, some real concrete safeguards to a certain extent.
I would agree, especially for example, even texts. When like you get a text saying you have a delivery and it's this link and it's from, say, a certain postal service or delivery service. And you kind of go, I am actually getting, maybe I should. Don't. I always say, And they could create them to be even more intuitive because, and I'm thinking not just for people that are a bit more savvy, but I'm thinking of people like, say, my parents. My parents both have mobile phones, and they do get texts, and that is, I think, quite scary. And I'm always saying, don't answer the phone if you don't recognize the number, and don't click a link. But the worry is, as you say, if
it looks so genuine, it must be.
If it's worded in a certain way that you've got this urgency, and if you don't, you're going to lose out.
Yeah,
that can panic people,
Yeah, like it's like, I know it sounds funny, but it's almost like the Terminator movies are kind of coming to reality. Like that. AI. Like, I don't know, there was that movie on way back in the 80s. I can't even remember what it was, but a hacker somehow hacked into the Pentagon, but the computer system they were using to hold on to the nuclear warheads decided that it had a mind of its own and started launching missiles. And we thought, sure, that could never happen. And here we are now with AI. Those robots that are.
Yeah, you always get that impression that it's actually this robot-y sci-fi angle.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's no, it's here now.
Yeah. Like, I think it's not to be a scaremonger, obviously. Like, I think when you're in business, and especially in social and developments, you have to look at every new tool, new development, but don't look at it with rose-tinted glasses.
No, there are pros and cons to everything,
exactly.
Like social media, there's lots of pros to it, but then there's a lot of cons as well. And it's all down to time. So if it can help you save time with ideas, say, or lists, or, even crafting up a social post to reply, always go in and edit it, so it sounds like you. That would be my big thing.
Totally agree. So I suppose as we start to wrap up, that show went quick today.
No, how did that time go?
It flew along. I suppose really as a wrap up, go on. Don't stick your head in the sand. Look at these tools, the Chat GPTs, etc.
I was going to say, you didn't go and look for any social media jokes in it, did you?
Not yet, but I think I might. I think I will, because you keep mentioning it to me. So any last thoughts you want to add, Emer, before we start to come to the close?
Where did the time go?
Dear Chat GPT, how do I end out this show?
How do I get one up for a change? That way. So any ideas? What will we talk about next week?
Well, hopefully
that's another one.
Hopefully,
that's another question.
That's the next. Well, listen, if you want to send us in some questions on inquiries at Dublin South,
that would be great, actually.
So I suppose really on the wrap up, if you enjoyed even, who's Joe? He's the boss. I love Joe.
He is, yeah.
You can catch, obviously, all of our previous shows on the podcast on Dublin South FM, as well as Podbean and Spotify. And obviously, you can catch this show and our first show of 2023 on the YouTube channel.
So do go over, give us a follow, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. We're on social media, so you can go find us there as well. But again, guys, if you have any topics, do send them in, because we love to sort of see what people are interested in, and it gives us lots more to chat about. Okay, Chat GPT, Guru, Philip Twyford.
I love it.
That's now going to be in your head for the day, isn't it?
It is. I have such a big head now walking around. Well, I suppose, thanks again for joining us. And myself and Emer, we are going to be back on the air next Friday at 2 p.m. for more Let's Get Social. So
see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.